You didn't hear this from just anyone. This is Mesmeric Femme, where we talk about feminine psychology, quiet confidence, and the kind of power you don't need to explain. Stay with me. This one will change how you think about the new year. Today we're talking about why 2026 won't change your life. Not because you don't want it badly enough, not because you didn't set the right intentions, not because you lacked vision, but because years don't change people. Systems do. Most people enter a new year hoping things will feel different. They rely on motivation, vision boards, vague resolutions, emotional resets, and by February they're living the same patterns with a new calendar. This episode explains why that happens, and what actually determines whether 2026 feels lighter or heavier than 2025. This is not about goals. This is about designing systems that work with your brain, not against it. So look, let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Time does not create change. The calendar does not reset your nervous system. January 1st doesn't erase habits, decision patterns, emotional regulation styles, avoidance loops. Your brain carries momentum, and without structural interruption, momentum continues. That's why New Year energy fades so fast. Emotion spikes, systems stay the same, and systems always win. This is also why motivation fails every year. Motivation is not a strategy. It's a temporary emotional state. It depends on mood, energy, optimism, novelty. And novelty expires quickly. By mid-January, routines reassert themselves. Friction returns. Discipline becomes expensive. This is not a personal failure. It's a design failure. You cannot run a year on emotion alone. Psychology is very clear about what actually drives long-term change. People improve through feedback loops, through visibility of behavior, through adjustment, not inspiration. Change happens when you can see what you're doing, notice patterns, and correct course early. That's not motivation. That's self-regulation. And self-regulation depends on systems. This is why systems outperform goals. Goals are static. I want to be healthier. I want to be calmer. I want a better year. Systems are dynamic. They answer different questions. What do I do daily? How do I notice drift? How do I correct without force? Goals point. Systems move. A goal without a system is just a wish with better language. This is where habit tracking comes in, and this is where most people misunderstand it. They think it's about discipline. It's not. Habit tracking works because it creates behavioral feedback. When behavior is visible, it adjusts automatically. Consistency increases, abandonment decreases. This is called the reactivity effect. Your brain changes behavior simply because it can see it. No pressure required. This matters because feedback loops outperform willpower. Willpower is finite. Feedback is continuous. When you track habits, progress becomes concrete. Gaps become informative. Patterns become obvious. You stop guessing, and guessing is what drains energy. Systems reduce decision fatigue. Less fatigue means more consistency. Reflection is the other half of the system. Tracking shows what you did. Reflection explains why. Without reflection, mistakes repeat. Patterns stay invisible. Learning slows. Written reflection externalizes thought, reduces cognitive load, improves decision quality. This is not emotional journaling. This is behavioral analysis. High performers don't reflect to feel better. They reflect to adjust faster. This is also why some years feel heavy and others feel light. A year feels heavy when decisions are reactive, behavior is unconscious, effort feels constant, and progress feels vague. A year feels light when systems guide action, habits run automatically, feedback is clear, and adjustment is easy. The difference is not luck, it's structure. Most people don't repeat the same year because they have bad intentions, low intelligence, or weak character. They repeat the same year because their systems don't change. Same routines, same triggers, same responses, different events. Same internal mechanics. Designing 2026 doesn't start with big goals. It starts with different questions. What behaviors do I want to make visible? What do I need feedback on? Where do I lose consistency? How will I notice early drift? This is systems thinking, and systems thinking creates calm, because you are no longer relying on hope. This feels calmer for a reason. Systems remove drama. No constant restarting, no emotional pressure, no narrative of failure. Just observe, adjust, continue. This is why system-based years feel grounded. You're not pushing yourself forward, you're being guided forward. Let's be clear about what this is not. This is not rigid routines, not perfection, not extreme discipline, not aesthetic productivity. This is about visibility, feedback, adjustment, sustainability. Systems support you. They don't demand performance. And here's the quietest shift of all. Identity follows systems. When systems stabilize, behavior stabilizes. Self-trust increases, identity updates. You don't decide to be consistent, you see yourself being consistent, and that changes how you move. Calm replaces effort. Now this is where implementation matters. Most people don't need another resolution. They need visibility. That's why I created the journal and habit tracker linked in the description. Not as a New Year ritual, not as motivation, but as a system. It's designed to make behavior visible, create feedback loops, support reflection, and reduce cognitive load. So 2026 doesn't depend on willpower, it depends on structure. If you want a year that works with your brain, not against it, you'll find it in the link below. 2026 won't change your life, but the systems you run inside it will. Years don't create transformation, design does. If this reframed how you think about the new year, subscribe to Mesmeric Femme. We talk about feminine psychology, quiet confidence, and the kind of power you don't need to explain. I'll see you next time.